What's up? How you doing? Hope everyone's good. This week's video, I'm gonna cover basically how to hack a hobo freight clamp into a fixture clamp for your Ultimate Maker table. You can buy basically this clamp right here from a couple different companies. They've come down in price. This 8-inch model is about $33 shipped to your door, and they make a shorter 6.5-inch model that's about $20 shipped to your door, which is not a bad price and really pretty handy. You should probably scoop up some of these, but we end up really trying to crank down on stuff in here and draw stuff together, and we probably use these clamps a little more than they're intended to be used. So we found that these cool clamps right here from Hobo Freight actually are beefier and longer and hold up a little bit better in our shop, and they're even a little bit cheaper if you guys are willing to put in a little bit of work yourself. Basically what we're gonna do is take one of these clamps from Hobo Freight that you can buy for $22, one of these shoulder bolts that you can buy from any real hardware store for about $2, combine them together, and boom, you've got yourself one of these. This is a little longer shoulder bolt, but the same idea. And then we also have a second variation of clamp that's made to work with the side of your table. So let's just jump into this. It's a pretty simple process, not a whole lot to it. All right, first step is you want to lay out your cut. Just basically look for somewhere where it starts, right before it starts to curve. You want to keep nice and flat. On the second clamp right here, you actually want to be as tight as you can to this inside corner. That's where we're going to cut, and we'll show you what this clamp is used for. I bet you haven't seen it yet. Let's go to the saw, guys. We want a nice square cut. Put in our clamp. That is some of the toughest Chinese yum I have ever seen in my life. I don't know what they're making these things out of, but that was pretty solid. All right, next one here. This guy gonna be a little bit tougher to jig up. Oh yeah, get it right in there. There we go. All right. Alright, that's what you're looking for when you're all done. Let's go back to 10. Alright, basically, once you get to this point, we are ready to weld on these shoulder bolts. These are just 5/8 shoulder bolts. They are a lot tighter tolerance than a 5/8 all thread or 5/8 bolt. They actually undersize those to make them a little bit easier to thread into a nut. But these are true 5/8 size, and they'll rack a whole lot easier in these holes. So that's why we use this instead of a regular bolt. All right, here we go. You'll notice we have two different sizes here. Basically, you don't need a lot of height if you have a lot of stroke here on the actual clamp itself. So we use these for the flat ones on the table. And then this clamp is actually made to be used on the side of the table. So we like to use this longer bolt, give you a little bit more flexibility basically. So from here, there's not a whole lot to it. Pretty much just want to get these on as square as you can, but these aren't really used for squaring anything up, just for jamming stuff together. Oh yeah, nice and hot, drooping off. You really want really good fusion here because you're gonna put a lot of load and pressure on these things, and you can always clean this up after the fact. Just filling in all these low spots. and then I'll just clean this up at the end with the flap wheel. All right guys, not the prettiest, but you notice everything's really hot and sunken in there. That's what we're going for. All right guys. There you go. Let me show you how to use this guy right over here. Check that out now, guys. Now, if you have a setup running along this edge of your table right here, and you can't quite get a clamp in here, we've run into this so many times now. Steven actually figured this out to put a stud around the corner so we could mount this to the side of the table and draw parts together in a different way. And it's just been another handy little thing to help us be more efficient and get more done here in the shop. You can also now use this, clamp something to the side of your table. Well, you better get it lined up. Now you can hook around something and draw it into this perfect 90 that you've created. The other thing that this kind of clamp lets you do is if you have a setup where you need to go Z, you're trying to come straight up off your table and it's not a perfect 90, say you had, you know, a rail coming up off of this and you needed to locate it into this 45-degree plane, actually jam this in the side, and now you can rotate this clamp and draw anything down at any angle you want, as long as it's within, you know, 3-4 inches of the edge. But last thing I gotta show you is what the difference is between these Hobo Freight clamps and the ones that you can buy ready to go, okay? Because these are actually thicker, wider, stronger, and longer. I mean, I sound like it's a condo commercial or something, but seriously, it is the truth. So I got a micrometer over here. Let me just show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna do this in inches. This is the clamp that I bought right off the street, straight from Amazon, primed it to my place. We are 0.375 thick, and this is the Hobo Freight version, 0.48. So that's about 1/8 of an inch thicker. Then width-wise, we are 0.7, let's say 0.79, 0.8 inches. You know, we'll give it to them. And on the Hobo Freight DIY clamp, you have almost a full inch. See that? Then we get on to the length. This right here gives you 4 more inches of clamping distance. You add a long shoulder bolt on it and you get an extra 2 inches of clamping distance. So all in all, you actually get almost an extra 5 to 6 inches of clamping out of this clamp right here. This one right here costs $32 delivered to your door. This one, if you build it yourself, costs, what is it, $24 assembled just like this. Thicker, wider, taller, stronger, cheaper. I don't know what else to tell you guys. And you can make yourself cool custom clamps like this and start hacking these things to pieces. You'll find all sorts of new uses for these clamps and save yourself some money, guys. Because the big thing with these tables is you need a ton of clamps. It's insane. That's why I opened up the side right here so that you can still use all these R11 quick clamps you already have collected. That way you can get started. You don't need to buy one of these fixture tables and then spend the same amount of money in tooling on top of that. You can just use the clamps you already have, all right? And then start adding on these little hacked clamps and just slowly build up the tooling over time. That's what I've been doing. And now we have like a really capable set of tooling and fixtures that speed us up on almost every job. So hope this helps you guys out. This is not a paid endorsement by anybody. Literally just trying to share a little bit of this knowledge so you guys can be better, faster, make more money in your shops, all right? So check us out on Instagram, maker.table. Subscribe down below. Thanks for watching. Happy making, guys.